everyone to Align with Abundance. I'm Lara Waldman. It's a great pleasure to have you with us this evening. We're going to have a really awesome time basically learning how to align with the energy of abundance, how to live a life of abundance. It's pretty wonderful stuff because it makes you feel so very good. And I'm going to be sharing my very simple but powerful tips to manifestation, to basically create the life that you desire. And I assume, because you signed up, you're interested in abundance. So I'll assume you're into that. So what I'd love to know from you is, what is abundance to you? Because abundance means different things to different people, it turns out. So if you could just type in a couple keywords, what is abundance to you? What does that mean to you? It'll be interesting to hear and what we all have to say about that. Freedom, yeah, awesome, brilliant, Daniela, thank you. So that's one. Let's see if there's any coming in. It's a feeling of joy and ease, knowing that all will be okay. Thank you, Heather. Yes, that's brilliant. Great. So it's actually a feeling, isn't it? It's a state of being. And from that state of being, everything flows with so much greater ease, so much greater ease. I'm curious to see if anyone else would like to share what abundance means to you. And there's no right or wrong, it's just what it means to you. So glad you can hear now, Angelica. Balance of free time and money. Brilliant. Awesome. We have abundance of money, we can have abundance of time, we can have abundance of freedom, ease and joy and flow. So all of these wonderful things. And again, it'll be slightly different for each and every person, but it's nice to get a sense of confidence. That's a good one, Georgina. I like that. Confidence, yeah. So abundance from me is health, money, and flowers. Oh, I like that idea. That's brilliant. I like the flowers are in there. Yeah, for me, abundance also, nature is an incredible example of abundance. I like that you put flowers in there as well. Bliss, that's beautiful. Yeah, some great sharings. Thank you for sharing what abundance means to you. So let's talk a little bit more about abundance. So what do you think blocks you or stops you from feeling these feelings? Freedom, bliss, confidence. What is it that stops you from experiencing abundance in your life? So for most of us, what's really interesting is a lot of people have said feeling words. There's money, obviously, in there, and flowers in there as well. But what do you think, just to tune in, there's no right or wrong again, what do you think stops you from experiencing abundance in your life? I'll just be curious to hear what you have to say. Unable to receive. Stephanie's saying abundance is feeling supported by the universe and myself. Awesome, love that. And so not understanding, unable to receive is one of the things that blocks her. A lack of gratitude, deservingness. So is that not feeling deserving? So then there's these, what's really interesting is that these kind of negative, you could call them negative states of being or feelings that stop us from experiencing abundance. So we're fascinating. I'm afraid of being my true self. Yeah, that's really well said. So, and I would say that abundance for me is very much about, expressing who I am fully in the world. So that's definitely part of it. Fear, including when I really want something or when something hasn't come through yet or in a different way. So fear, simply put, yeah. Confusion, I think, is the biggest challenge for me that blocks, yeah, okay. Personally, for me, is lack of confidence in myself to physically show up. A misdirection of focus, attention on what is lacking or missing. Well said, Sarah. Yeah, lack. So if we think what's the opposite of abundance, you could say it's lack or scarcity. So I talk about lack consciousness, and there's abundance consciousness. And so if we're not experiencing abundance, we're experiencing lack on some level, or maybe it's a negative emotion as people have been sharing. So there's fear of failure. Welcome, Maria. Fear of failure, so stops me from even trying. Yeah, so fear again, fear of failure. Deep stuff, isn't it? It's really understandable then why we may not be experiencing abundance in every area of our life. So the great thing, the good news is that actually it's possible to shift a lot of these things very, very quickly. the challenge of that is that when we're experiencing fear or lack of confidence or doubt or confusion, it can be all consuming and really feel so very real and take over your life, and you can end up running your life from those feelings of fear or doubt or lack of confidence or not feeling good enough or whatever it is, lack or money worries. And so it can really have a massive impact. But the key is, I'm going to guide you through a process actually this evening where we're going to align with the energy of abundance. And you're going to see that you can actually choose it very quickly and align with that energy very quickly. And we're going to feel how awesome that is. So the practice is then to align with abundance as much as you can throughout the day, every day. That's the practice. Now, I know at times it can feel impossible, but it really isn't impossible. It's just about choosing it. So let's see if there's any other sharings right now. So the really, really important thing is that we want to start getting clear on what we want. Because otherwise we can get taken through life and swept through life by our unconscious fears, our unconscious doubt, our unconscious feelings of lack or scarcity. And I say unconscious because often we're not even realizing that these energies are running us. And so that's what we want to basically choose what we actually want, so that we're consciously creating what we want rather than unconsciously creating we don't want. So that's what we're going to spend a bit of time on. So what I'd like to do, I know a lot of you, but just in case you haven't met me yet, I feel like it would be good to take a moment to introduce myself so you know who I am with this funny old accent of mine. I'm Lara Waldman. I call myself the Abundance Activator. I'm an international speaker. I'm an author of this book. I've got Money Manifestation Mastery here, which I'm very excited to be able to finally share with the world. I'm a healer, a channel, and a spiritual teacher. And I've been on this path actively for 20 years. I've been working professionally as a healer and spiritual teacher and coach for 14 years. And I've been basically, I eat, breathe, sleep this stuff. It's pretty much 24/7 for me. It's my whole life is living in this way and working towards living in this way and fine-tuning and kind of exploring. I'm like a abundance or energetic scientist because I've always known deep in my heart that change is possible. And when I was 18, I had this vision. I had this it was like a little flame ignite in my heart where I saw what I was here to do. I saw my purpose, and it was about shifting consciousness and helping people to live in a new way. And I knew that people didn't have to experience pain and suffering in the way they did. I'd gone through, watched my family and experienced a lot of pain and suffering in my life, and I watched this thinking, I just knew as a teenager that it didn't need to be this way, and there was another way. So kind of a mission to figure out what that way was. And actually, 20 years on, I realized that actually it's so much more simple than we make it. And it doesn't have to be as hard as we make it. And so what I'd love to do is create the space for you where we can just choose what you want and start creating life from that place. And rather than, I'm hoping that it doesn't need to take so long for you. I've done a longer journey, and then we could fast track it for you guys. So I actually also feel like I want to share my big vision with you guys, because I don't know if you can feel it. I know some of you know me, so you probably know, but my big vision is always about making a global impact and helping people around the world. But it's not really about me. It's about actually experiencing life of greater joy and doing that together. Like, it's no fun by myself. So it's sort of like, can we all play together and have more fun, please? So I see this about creating joy, and from that place, when we're living life and creating life from a place of joy, can you imagine what we create from that energy? So what I see is people are creating their life from pain or struggle or lack or not good enough. And can you see what people might create from that energy? And it's all fine, because there really, really genuinely is no right or wrong. There's no good or bad. There's just experience. We are creative beings that can choose whatever we want to experience. And we have so many gazillions of judgments that get in the way of that, but really it's just about making a choice. And the universe will always support you with whatever choice you want to make. And I find now it's incredibly fast, but you've just got to get aligned with the choice that you want to make and be willing to step out of your comfort zone. And that's the bit that can be a bit more challenging. So who likes the idea of that, of like having more fun and creating life and greater joy and making a difference and spreading some joy around the planet? Who's with me? I'd like to know, because I really hope I'm not by myself though. But that's really my yes, yay, I get a yes. So like really, I want to like hang out with amazing people. It's in some ways it's totally selfless, and that it's all about service and making a difference, but on some level it's selfish, because I also just want to hang out with really high vibe people and people that I feel good with and have a good time with, and I know that together we're going to do awesome things. So one of the things that happens for me is you call myself a channel, or I get intuitive guidance. I hear, I see, I feel information that comes what feels like outside of myself. You call it from source, my higher self, whatever you want to call it. And the message I've been getting for years is that like this the visual is sort of people holding hands, that we rise up together, that we're gone is the time of hierarchy where there's like the leader and the follower. We're not doing that game anymore. Or you can if you want, but this is really about leaders with leaders, and we hold hands and rise up together. And so that's really my vibe, and also about just remembering the truth of who you are, which is magnificent. And so I'm here to go, remember who you are, let's have fun. Basically. So that, simply put, that's what it is. So yay, other people want to play and enjoy with me. That's so good. Yay, good. Oh, there's a lot of yeses. Yeah, I'm saying, thank goodness hierarchy never works like that. I love what you're describing. It all fits with my heart. Good, I hope so. And that's really, like, I hope you can feel my heart, because that's really what I'm about. And so brilliant, we're on the same page. So what I'd love you to do is get something to write with if you can. You don't have to, but if you have like a journal or a piece of paper and a pen, that'd be great, because we're just going to get clear on what you want to choose next. So what I'd like you to feel into is what you actually want. Because what I found, so I coach hundreds of people, and I offer these coaching calls, these sessions where we get clear. I ask, well, what do you want? What do you want to create? If I had a magic wand, what would you ask for? And the fascinating thing is 99% of the people will immediately start explaining what's going on in their life that's not working. Fascinating, right? And everyone does it. So, it's not wrong. It's just that we're very trained and programmed into focusing on what's not working. It's kind of like an addiction, or it's also the way that we've been trained. So what the really powerful first thing is, and I know a lot of you know this, but I'm just here to remind you, is to focus on what you want, not on what you don't want. So really simply, maybe you're struggling in a relationship. How would you like that relationship to be? Maybe you're struggling with your body. How would you like your body? How would you like to feel in your body? Maybe you're struggling with fear or lack of confidence. What's the opposite of that? And what's really interesting is sometimes it's hard to find a word to describe the opposite of that. So what's the opposite of fear? It could be courage. Like the opposite of lack of confidence would be confidence. The opposite of doubt would be trust. What do you want to feel? And this is a really, really important first step. So let's say abundance. I'd like to experience abundance in all areas of my life. But you can also have an abundance of pain and suffering. Right? You can have an abundance of all sorts of things. So let's get clear on what we want an abundance of. And be careful what you wish for. So let's really put your orders in. What are you looking to ask for? And what I think, and one of the things I talk about in my book is we start with a money goal. Start with an amount of money that would be wonderful to bring in. What would that be for you? And And that can be a really wonderful highlight to what it is you're truly asking for. So money is an amazing vehicle, it's an amazing teacher, amazing guide. I've learned to really learn the value of collaborating with money, loving money, valuing it, because it's an amazing thing if we use it consciously. So just want to have a little look at questions. So selfishness is a vibrational alignment with yourself. Oh, cool. I like that, Daniela. Thank you. So it's good to be selfish, yes. So have a think. Write down some of the things you're asking for. What would you like? Put a money goal in as well, because money helps to ground us in the world, because we need it to exchange. It's really hard to get by without it. So put money in there as well. Include it. It lands you in the world. And then include some feelings that you want to feel. I believe that we're actually driven by feeling. So when we break it down, if you're asking for all sorts of things, and on my coaching calls, what we do is get really clear on what you want, and then we take that deeper and deeper and deeper, and it always comes down to a feeling. Usually it's about feeling happy, free, being able to give back, feel fulfilled, just to give you some ideas, peaceful, feel excited, feel alive. I actually think that really we're looking to feel fully alive. And for me, abundance is actually about fully living, being fully connected, interconnected with all of life. I feel like sharing a little story about that, as you kind of scribble away and write some notes down, is that one of the things I realized on my journey with abundance and looking at my money blocks and what was stopping me from manifesting, blah, 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 was that actually I'd put up barriers to life because I didn't feel safe in life. And so a lot of my energy was going to protecting myself from life. I literally put up these walls and barriers because I didn't feel life was safe. I didn't feel that I was safe. And actually there was a belief that life was a fight. So everything I had to do, I'd have to fight for. And I'm curious to know if anyone else kind of relates with that. And so my experience with everything was a fight, everything was a struggle, everything was hard. Because, well, really simply, I wasn't choosing a life of ease, to create from ease. And interestingly, I wasn't choosing ease, I realized, because I thought that was boring. In a way, I was addicted to the struggle. In a way, I was addicted to the drama. And now that was so unconscious, and I'd never have said, oh, I enjoy that. I'd say I hate it. But I recognized after some deep inquiry that I was actually, in a way, physiologically addicted to it. So we can get physiologically addicted to certain reactions in our body, like fear, for example, or releases of adrenaline, for example, in the body. So we kind of need to reprogram ourselves. So my thing with life, I felt that life was unsafe, that I was under attack, or there was some kind of threat. That if I showed up, my big fear, and some of you know this, my big fear was that if I showed up, like I did what I'm doing now, showed in videos or publicly, I genuinely thought I'd be killed. So I had this real persecution fear. So if I'm me, if I'm shining and showing up in the world, I'm going to be taken down. And really, and who knows, maybe that I could still happen. But I kind of don't care now. That's not really the point. The point was that fear of persecution was stopping me from taking any action, and for showing up and for showing who I was. I remember people would say, "What do you do?" like years ago, and I'd be like, "Oh, I do this kind of like, oh, it's kind of like massage. It's really relaxing." Couldn't even tell people I was a healer. I thought that was too weird. So life felt unsafe. And what I realized is I thought that life was against me. And so can you imagine what I created from that energy? Now I'm really getting and integrating. And I think there's more integration with this, but we kind of integrate on layers and levels sometimes. Is that actually life is for me? Life has my back. Life is here for all of us. We're here experiencing this thing called life, and we can align with that fully. And for me, that is actually abundance. It's about allowing life to have a full experience of life. Almost like letting life take you, letting yourself be taken by life. but you're also a co-creator of what's happening as well. So you're not like completely passive in that, but letting life gift to you. And what's amazing, I mean, seriously, it is blowing my mind these days, because I think the more and more I open to that, the more I'm experiencing it like fast on quite a profound level. But when we stay open to life, without all of our judgments and our protection, so much can flood in. But that can also feel uncomfortable, because it can feel like, for me, receiving all of life, actually there was a feeling of it being out of control. So oh my God, you know, sometimes that ecstasy can feel a little bit out of control sometimes. So that was my experience. You might have a different one, but so for me, abundance is about experiencing the abundance of life and all that life has to offer. So I'm just going to see if there's any, want to feel safe. Yes, exactly. Grounded and vibrant, brilliant. Yes, full aliveness is what I always say, brilliant. So I was saying, my mum deliberately made me fight for everything growing up, because she wanted me to know if I fought for what I wanted, I could get it. Experimental 80s. Yeah. And yeah, you know, that's true too, right? Like, everything's true as long as we believe it is true. So yes, that's true. We can't fight for what we want, but maybe we don't have to fight anymore. You know, it doesn't mean that there's an effort involved and that we don't have to take action, but maybe we don't need to fight. But I think, you know, we've had waves of different like themes, haven't we? Like, you know, you could say, you know, fight for women's rights, for example. But I feel like we're in a time now where we can kind of shift that. So everything's changing all the time, you know, and we're part of a new wave, a new kind of transformational wave. So it's all good. I'm Lita saying, I always feel like I want to feel more alive. Amazing. Yeah, and there's other people relating. Brilliant. Okay, wonderful. So thanks for sharing. If you want to share more of your dreams, there's something really powerful about sharing in a group about your dreams and putting it out there. So type in, share what it is you want to experience, what you want to manifest, and it could be, you know, a sports car. It's not superficial, it's okay, but it could be world peace. It could be whatever you want. It's absolutely fun. We get to play in the energy of creation. And that's what I think so amazing about life, is that actually, if we remove all the judgments of right and wrong, good and bad, what I should or shouldn't do, or who I should and shouldn't be, you actually, that is freedom in itself. And then you're free to actually choose what is true for me. What's my heart saying? What's my gut saying? Yeah? So I want to feel powerful. Awesome. Awesome. Ah, lovely. So, are you ready to align with abundance? So already things have been moving and shifting. When you hang out with me, by the way, energy moves. I can't help it, and I'm sorry about that. Not really, but just welcome in this energy that's with you now, because you choosing to be here and listening to this now is also you choosing abundance, and then the universe responds. And all then you'll be invited to shift and change is anything that's not aligned with what you're asking for. So you only ever release and let go of that which is no longer aligned with what you're asking for next. Does that make sense? So you're only invited to let go of the thing that's no longer aligned with what you're asking for. And what's really, really cool is that what I find the most effective is when you ask for things that are aligned with your heart, or aligned, you could say, your soul, or your higher self, your gut, that inner knowing, the inner wisdom. When you're calling in things that are aligned with that, we manifest much, much faster and with much, much greater ease. It's, I think, when we're asking for things that aren't in alignment with our heart, is when we can experience that kind of fighting against the stream. So what I want to do is guide you into yourself so you can really hear and really listen. And I know sometimes that can be scary, because sometimes the life, you know, that you're living now isn't that thing. So it does mean we're going to go traveling to have a different experience. So let's just keep it super light and connect into your heart. So for this, you can sit up, you can lie down. I recommend closing your eyes, and that just helps to block off one of the senses, helps you tune in more, but you can do whatever you like. Just to see if there's any other comments. So Georgine's saying, I guess the tiredness comes from being terrified of the responsibility. If there's an abundance of people wanting teaching from me, then isn't that a huge responsibility? Scary. I panic. And I want to sleep. So that makes me feel irresponsible. That's interesting. I really understand that. So I just want to close my eyes to answer that a little bit better. What's really interesting that I just want to share with you, Georgina, is now I really understand that. I used to like just want to sleep all the time and get really tired and this kind of weight of responsibility. What I found was that I was actually carrying people in my body. I was carrying people in my energy, and I was making people's results my responsibility. And this is what I did as a healer for a long time. I made myself responsible for everybody. So, and this was a pattern I took on from a very young age, from my mom, and feeling like somehow how people were feeling was either my fault or my responsibility. So that was sort of a deeper level. But I also took it on as a healer. And what I realized, so I did this for a long time, and what I discovered is it doesn't work. Maybe it's kind of obvious. But also you can only carry so much. So I can't actually remember. I've been meaning to make a blog about it, but I actually decided to quit being a healer. And I was thinking, well, if I quit being a healer, that's not what I do. That's who I am. I've identified as a healer. Like, how do I quit being a healer? And basically what I was quitting was taking responsibility for other people and carrying the weight of responsibility. And what I was doing was I was kind of like trying to drag people through the mud. So I was like, come on. You don't have any pain and suffering, come on. And it would I'd be trying to like desperately grab people and pull them and bring them up. I'm like, let's go play up here. It doesn't have to be this hard, come on. And hanging out with all these people who are in pain and struggling. But it took me it was like a bit of a long and painful journey to realize that these people didn't actually want to change. And I was spending a huge amount of effort and energy carrying this responsibility for people's transformation. And so I quit doing that. And I tell you what, I have so much more energy. And do you think now, if I've quit that, carrying on people's energy, do you think I can actually make a bigger impact from letting that go? I think the answer is yes. And also, it doesn't feel like hard work anymore. I just feel like I'm playing with you guys. It's not hard work anymore. And what I really got was that I cannot, because I really tried, I really genuinely, well, not 14 years, but maybe a little bit less, but for a very long time as a healer, I desperately tried to change people. And yeah, I think there was a lot of ego involved in that, in a sense. It's like, you're in pain and you're struggling, you obviously want to change. Let me help you, I can help you, I know how to help you. And they weren't changing, and I was getting drained. And I was like, oh my God. And it finally, after a long time, occurred to me that they don't actually want to change. Or they're not willing to make the choice to change, or they're not willing to take the action to change. Oh my goodness. And that was a really big realization. So also I had to recognize that I had a judgment about people's pain and suffering. So I had a judgment that they had to change it. Maybe they don't want to change it. Maybe that's working for them on the level, and maybe that's okay. But I was like, man, I don't want to hang out in that anymore. That was a massive, massive drain on my energy. So now I'm like, okay, I want to like hang out with people who are choosing change, even if it might take a while. That fundamentally saying, you know what, I don't know how to do this, I don't know what this looks like, but I'm gonna choose something different. And when I now work with clients who are choosing change, oh my God, it's fast, boom, boom, boom. It doesn't necessarily mean not everything happens and changes overnight, but there's progression. So what I'd say is just have fun and follow your heart and do what feels really joyful and light for you. And you're not responsible for anybody but yourself. But you can hold space for people to change and transform. And it really felt really cold to me to work in this way and to think in this way at first. It felt like, oh my God, you just don't care anymore. You don't care. You don't want to help anyone anymore. I was like, kind of don't need to help anybody anymore, because maybe people don't want my help. And I couldn't understand years. I'm like, I'm here, I'm here, I'm here, I'm here, I'm ready to help. Why aren't people asking for my help? Especially, you know, friends and family and people I was offering my service to for free. I was like, so confused. Lara, they haven't asked for your help. Oh my God. You know, so it was like kind of an amazing realization for me. So what if you just let go of responsibility? And what if you're not responsible for anybody or anything? And I think really we can only be responsible for ourselves. And I believe, my belief is that if we follow our heart, that we're going to be like kind of service-led. We're going to be creating in a way that contributes to other people and contributes to the planet. I know that when we move from joy, we're not going to be creating destruction and pain for others, for example, or from abundance. If you're in full abundance, you don't need to take from anyone else. You don't need to hurt other people. So it's sort of, it's trusting in yourself. Anyways, that was a little bit of a ramble, but I'm trusting that was helpful for people. Yes, so there's a question. I don't know how to pronounce your name. Beatrice, sorry, I can't pronounce your name. I can see your question right here. So you just type in my answers right there. Cool. Georgia's saying, I learned as a child to be responsible. I became ill by the time I was 6 years old. Thank you. That's massive. Yeah, it is massive. I took on, like, my mom, I realized, doing kind of some deep inner work, that I took on her stuff at the age of 2. Basically stuff that she couldn't handle. And then she was suicidal and really depressed when I was a teenager. And I basically felt like her life was my responsibility and her happiness was my responsibility. But also that because if she wasn't happy and doing well, like that would affect my survival, because at that time I needed my mom, you know? So I took on a huge amount of responsibility, and also because my parents weren't really able to be emotionally care for us, I was like, you know, who I am. And so from a very young age, I'm like, right, I'm the one in charge here. I'm the one that's going to like sort this family out, because other people aren't really doing that. So I got that programming from a very young age as well. And but then it was like, wait a minute. Whew. And that was a big thing to shed. That was like me shedding. And I still have to remind myself, like with my parents and siblings and family members and friends, it's like, no, like let them be free to choose whatever they choose. But I'm not going to hold myself back anymore. And I'm not going to hold myself back from joy and loving life just because other people aren't choosing that. So that's been a really big shift for me. And I'm hopeful that's helpful for you guys. So Penelope's saying, hi Penelope, she's saying, I can totally relate to this as a healer. A realization for me, that's amazing. So what's the positive version of pain-free? I have pain in my foot. I would like it gone. How can I write that in a positive way? So how would you describe a body that's pain-free? So a body that has no pain, what is that? What is a body that has no pain? I'd like you to come up with the answer. Let me know. And Georgina is saying her heart feels much lighter. That's amazing. This is deep stuff, and it sometimes like takes a little bit of a practice. So let's see what Stephanie has to say. It can be freedom in the body. That's one thing that comes to my head. Your body's just enjoying itself. Your body feels good. So, all right. So we got what we're asking for. So let's close our eyes. So I just went on a little bit of a tangent, but I trust that was what was needed to be heard today. So let's breathe into your body. You don't have to close your eyes, but I like closing my eyes. And you can lie down if you like. So we're going to go through a little energetic experience where we're going to call in what you're asking for. So everything is energy and everything is a vibration. Everything has a vibration. And absolutely everything is energy. We know that. Like science has proved that. So your emotional states, all of them have a different vibration. Different amounts of money have a different vibration. And what we want to do is align with a vibration that you are wanting to experience now. So, and it might not be something you've experienced. So for example, like really obvious things, like for me, like I actually realized I didn't know what unconditional love was. I hadn't experienced it. And it sounds crazy, like, oh, of course, unconditional love. It's like, no, I actually didn't know what that was because I hadn't actually experienced it. So my practice is like, okay, like show me an unconditional love. What's that? What does that feel like in my body? So if you haven't experienced abundance, if you still are in lack mentality or you're experiencing lack or scarcity, not enough, What we want to do now is ask to be shown, what's the vibration of abundance? And what we do is we ask your body to become that vibration. So I'd like you to close your eyes and see if you can feel it and breathe. Keep breathing. Guess what we're doing? We're breathing. So simple. I love how simple this stuff is. We're breathing in life. Breathe life in. Release with the exhale. Let's just do this for a few moments. We're going to breathe all of life in. Fill up right into your belly and release with the exhale. So we can practice receiving abundance in every moment of every day, just by consciously breathing. And if you're someone who likes to overcomplicate things, like I've been, the breath is our greatest teacher. Breathing in life. Release any resistance holding to life, against life. Now I'd like you to feel and experience just how supported you are by life. Keep breathing life in. And if you have really not genuinely felt support, like you haven't known what that is, I didn't know what that was. I knew how to support others, and it was all about supporting others because I didn't actually receive that for myself. Part of receiving abundance, or manifesting money, all this stuff for me has been learning about how to be fully supported. We all have different things. I'm just shouting out some of the things that are coming into my head to share. Knowing that you're fully supported. And if you can't really connect with it, just realize like your body is supported by the earth. You couldn't be here. You couldn't be here without this body. You couldn't be here without this earth. You are fully supported by this earth. So allow yourself to be really held and supported by the planet. That's a really great practice if you can't access it in any other way. And so just know that there's an energy coming through for you, for all of us in this session right now. That's here to support you align with what it is you're asking for, abundance, and everything else. And all you need to do now is receive. And receiving, sometimes that's easier said than done, but this is the practice, it's the breath, the inhale. You're receiving every day, let's practice doing it consciously. We're receiving. Receiving life. How many barriers, how many judgments have you had protecting you from life? Protecting you from abundance, protecting you from your dreams, protecting you from experiencing the life that your heart is asking for. So we're going to invite as much as you can tonight, because maybe it's the practice. It's possible to let it all go at once, but whatever you choose is fine. You're going to invite all those blocks and barriers, judgments, protections that you've created and you needed at some point. They served you at some point. You don't need it now. It's time to release it now. You can let go of that old story, because it really is just a story. And we can make that choice now to release the energies, those choices you made in the past that served you, that no longer serve you. You can just choose to let it go. Sometimes letting go can take us a little while to choose that fully, but really the choice is in a split second. So you can choose now to fully release, fully let go. Your protections, your barriers, your judgments that block life, that block abundance, that block your dreams from manifesting, from realizing. Keep breathing. I'm so sorry for any pain you experienced. or you experience. Deep compassion for your journey and how that served you up until now. I know that mainly you've just been absorbing and picking up on the world around you. It's not even yours. But how else can you live? You're just kind of mimicking and following the world around you. And now you're being invited into a new space to explore a new way of being and a new way of living. Not everyone's choosing that. So it can be a little bit confusing. Really? Can I? Am I allowed? Is it that simple? So we want to release those old energies of lack, of separation, of pain, of struggle. Well, that's been a really interesting journey. I've just really explored that to the fullest. I learned what that is. I got that. Got it. Been there, done that. I'm ready to explore a new land. I'm ready to have a new experience. What would it like to be to experience abundance? What would it like to experience freedom? What would it like to experience financial wealth? What would it like to experience support, unconditional love? Whatever it is that you're asking for. Happiness, true happiness. Show me what that is. Life, show me what that is. Body, show me what that is. Because your body knows how to become the vibration of what you're asking for in a split second. You're going to ask your body to become the vibration of that which you're asking for now. So it could be body become the vibration of abundance. And breathe. Your being, your body is more aligned with abundance than lack. Your body is more aligned with freedom than the opposite of that. And think of the opposite of that is right now. Your body is more aligned with pleasure than pain. Or, you can choose whatever you want to choose. Just look at children if you want to look at an example of how to be like they're so naturally kind of free and joyful and happy for the most part. Free of judgment. Just drop that ego. Drop the know-it-all. Drop the arrogance. Drop the I know what life is. Drop the I know how to do this. And almost step into, for me, what feels like childlike wonder. Stepping into the unknown. Like, maybe I don't know anything. Maybe I know everything and nothing all at the same time. How much more enjoyable might life be from that place of that wonder? Maybe I don't know. What if I don't know anything? I think life might be a little bit more enjoyable. When we're going around like a know-it-all, it's a bit boring. So one of my practices is to keep releasing judgments. When I notice them come up, and honoring what everybody's choosing. I honor your choice to choose whatever you choose. Before I might have judged it like, oh gosh, you're in pain, that's not good, let's change that. I just honor your choice to choose the experience of pain right now if that's what you want to choose. Maybe that's not bad at all. But if you'd like to experience something different and you want to come play, then that's great. Let's play in abundance, in freedom, in joy, in possibilities and expansion. And showing up fully in who you truly are, sharing all of you with the world. So I'm wondering, we'll ask you in a bit, but like, can you feel that you can actually switch into this state very quickly if you choose? So I can feel there's some people's hearts kind of hanging on like, oh, I don't know if I can fully let go. And that's totally cool. Just for a split second, what happens if you just completely surrender? What if there's nothing to hold on to? What if you're completely safe to let go in this moment? And let's again call in the vibration of total abundance in your body. Welcoming all of life, free of judgment. Just receiving life. Receiving all of you. Receiving all of you. So everywhere you've been using pain and suffering as protection, would you be willing to drop that now? Everywhere you've been using your pain to hide your truth and hide your heart, would you be willing to drop that now? So in this moment, let's let the truth of your heart, the truth of your being, shine completely. We're all shining together. Where it doesn't have to be at all serious. Keep breathing. And if you forget all of this, just breathe. It's all in the breath. Welcome to the land of abundance. The coolest thing I found is that it's not actually necessarily that your whole life changes, it's that your vibration changes. And as your vibration changes, your experience of life changes. Because your vibration changes, how you see life, experience life, receive life changes. So it doesn't actually necessarily mean that everything physically changes. It's just often your perception and your experience that changes. And then when you're coming from that more abundant place, you're much more open to receive all the amazing opportunities that are waiting for you. And the gifts that are ready and waiting for you. Oh, brilliant. So you can just stay in this lovely vibration of abundance. And I know it's a practice as well sometimes. Like, the choice happens in a split second, but sometimes it takes a little bit of time to fully choose it. You know, sometimes I think it's taken me 20 years to fully choose joy and abundance. It doesn't need to take that long. Just choose it in a split second. Because of all the things we think, all the stuff we feel like we have to let go of, all the stuff we feel like we have to change, often it's just our state of mind that shifts and changes. It actually changes everything. So it's very, very simple, but so profound and so powerful. So I'd love you to share if you have any comments or questions about any of that. So willingness and softening rather than pushing, that's the irony, yeah. It sure is. And what's amazing is because I used to be very strong in my masculine energy. I still have masculine energy, but it's shifted a lot. And what I found is from that energy of the masculine energy and from the energy of lack or the fighting for life, there's a lot of pushing, pushing, pushing. And you can succeed from that energy. You know, you can get a lot done from that energy. But my journey for quite a long time has been learning how to move from more of the energy, what I call the divine feminine, expansive energy. And actually, we can be so much more effective from that energy, I find. And it doesn't feel like hard work. Doesn't mean we don't take action. It doesn't mean that we don't do stuff in the world. But actually, from that softness, that willingness, that surrender, we can take action with ease. And I call it aligned action, where you're taking action in flow. And I find for me, that's how I work now. If I fall out of that flow energy, I stop, because I know it's not going to go very well. And then it starts to hard work. So that's just me. Oh, I love you too, Danielle. It's lovely. You're welcome, Sarah. Yeah, oh, so lovely. You're so welcome. It is all choice. That's true. Lovely. Thank you, guys. That's beautiful. So what I really recommend is creating this as a daily practice, where you align with the energy, the vibration that you're asking for. So remember, get clear on what you actually want and connect with that every day. I want to share what I want with you guys, because there's been it's grown and evolved. The other thing, it can grow and evolve, and it can change. And I think it used to be like, I want to heal the world. Now I'm giving up being a healer. Then I'm like, well, then what am I doing? I'm not healing the world anymore. What am I doing? And by the way, I realized there was a lot of judgment around that, that the world actually needed healing. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe it's perfectly perfect just as it is. Just a thought. I don't know. But then I was like, okay, what do I really want then? If I'm not moving from lack, if I'm moving from the energy of abundance now, I'm not in lack consciousness. I don't need anything from the energy of abundance. I'm good. What am I creating, and what am I choosing? What am I creating, and what am I choosing from the energy of abundance now? I'm not trying to heal the world. I'm not carrying responsibility for everyone. I'm feeling good. What do I want to choose now? And really, the thing that came for me was all about connection. And my desire now is to connect with leaders and change makers and thinkers and people living exciting and extraordinary lives, entrepreneurs. I love the way the entrepreneurs think. Really, people who think outside the box. They're coming up with solutions to problems. I was like, I want to connect with amazing people in the world that are high vibe, who are choosing to live awesome lives. That's what I want to do. And interesting that it's connection, because I spent so much of my life feeling like a lone wolf and feeling alone. Well, it was one of my core wounds, was feeling very alone in the world and separate. And I couldn't share myself, and people didn't know who I was, and people didn't understand me. That's really shifted now. I'm like, no, I want to connect with people. And I can't tell you how opposite that is from how I was. I'm like, wow, now I want to experience connection. And connecting with people who also are moving from the energy of abundance. It's like we don't need things from each other. We're just going to have fun and play and explore. And what can we create from that energy? And I feel very deeply in my heart that from that energy is actually really how we'll create a positive impact, and maybe send ripples of transformation to those who are choosing it. So I actually think once all the judgments are gone and our kind of ego agenda is gone, we actually will be much, much, much more effective in the world. And it just feels so much easier. Holy wow, does it feel so much easier. So I know that a lot of you know this. I usually draw in the leaders and the change makers. So I know that you know so much. And I just really want to honor you and honor who you are. And I'm just here as your reminder. That's really what I feel my role is a reminder. I come from the point of view that you know everything, that you have infinite wisdom inside of you. And I'm just here to remind you, because I need reminding too. We get kind of caught up in our stuff sometimes. So I'm just going to have a look and see if there's anything else here. Awesome. Yeah, wonderful. So what I'd love to do, you can practice receiving from me now if you like. I'd like to offer you to apply for a free session with me. And I say apply because I only have a limited number of spaces available, because I have a limited amount of time that's available for these sessions. But I'd really love to invite you to come and have a session with me. These sessions are really powerful. They're totally free. I'm offering a free session. It's very, very powerful. And people who have these coaching calls with me will often say that they manifest after the sessions. So I get really wonderful comments and feedbacks from them. And what we do in these calls is we get really crystal clear on what you're asking for, and I can really hold that vision with you, and it's really, really powerful. helpful having someone witness your dreams. We spend about 15 minutes on that. Then we uncover the energies, the beliefs, the emotions that are stopping or blocking you from welcoming those dreams into reality. And we talk about what's going on in your life now and what that next best step is moving forward. So I just want you to know that's available for you, and you're very welcome to apply. And there's absolutely no catch. Sometimes what happens at the end of the call, like there's a knowing, like if you wanted to get extra support from me, you'll know, and we can talk about that, and I can tell you how I work if you want to hear. But I just want you to know that this session is just here for you, and you're just so welcome to receive it. You can practice receiving that. So I've got a link to share with you, and I'm going to share it here. So it should say, hopefully you got that link. Can you let me know that you have it? So that's before we close. There will be a replay sent out to you, so you can, the link will be on the email that comes out as well. But just let me know that you've got that and apply for that. So just want to say, I have about 10 spaces available, and I'm really sorry if you don't get a space this time. I would love to help everyone, I just can't. So fill in the application form. Take time to fill it out. I get feedback for even just answering some of those questions is really useful. So fill it out. The more information and detail you give me, the more likely will get chosen. When people don't really fill it out properly, I don't pick them because I can't really get a sense of whether I can serve them or not. When I read the application, I tune into the energy and I can get a sense whether the session is a match, whether it can really help you and serve you. Yeah, just fill it out. It will automatically take you to a booking link, and you'll automatically get to book a session. But what I need to do is go through the applications, and then I'm not able to accept everyone, just to let you know. So I apologize in advance. Fill it out, and fingers crossed, get a session. So, oh, got it. Thank you. Very good. So I don't totally understand that. I think you're saying you're at a retreat center in the rainforest. That sounds amazing. So great. Thank you so much to all of you for sharing your energy. I don't know if you know, for the healers of you and the group, you probably will, but together, when we do this together, it's really powerful. It creates a really amazing vibration, a really high vibration together. And I know that together we're way more powerful than alone. So I just want to say thank you for showing up, because together we've kind of raised the vibration, and we've all got to feel a bit better together. And if you've had any challenges or anything come up, then please let me know. We've got actually also a Facebook group. I think some of you are in it, but you're very, very welcome to join a private Facebook group. I'm just going to get the link for you. It's called Abundance Activation. Let me find a link. And what would be great is you can share in there. You can ask me questions. Like, I'm really happy to answer your questions there. So if anything comes up, if you have any questions or concerns or anything that's come up for you, you're very welcome. I'm happy to kind of support you in there. So make the most of that group as well, that space. And a huge amount of love, and I look forward to having our one-to-one Abundance Activation Breakthrough session very soon, hopefully. And I'll speak to you again very soon. Lots of love to you.